know how to get it. Game, you just spit it. Soon a nigga hitting. Come anytime you call, they will do it all. They will. I'm just being real. They hoes, they know they hoes. They hoes, they know they hoes. They hoes, they know they hoes. They hoes, they know.
Welcome to another Deprogramming Talk radio show. I'm your host, Shante.
And this is your co-host, Karsten.
And today's episode is brought to you by Audible.com, where you can find over 100,000 books for all your reading needs. We have a great deal on our Deprogramming Talk Radio Show.com. We have a link. You can go ahead and click on that and get your free gold membership for 1 month and get a free book. And if you choose not to keep that, go ahead and cancel anytime within that 30 days, and you keep that book free of charge.
And remember, there are 3 sides to reality: your side, their side, and the truth. So we're going to talk about a little bit of the truth today, jump into our topics here. First, we're going to get into the new Pope, Pope Francis. And I know everybody's all excited about the new Pope. Well, some people, not me personally, but, some people are excited about that. I want to introduce our guest today. We have Coco. Say hi.
Hi, how are you?
All right, we have Christina.
Hey.
And Maria.
Hey.
So I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this situation with the new Pope? First, I'm going to throw it to Shante. What do you think about the situation with the new Pope?
Oh, man, you know what? I really don't care too much about that Catholic religion, man. It's just not my big cup of tea. But the new Pope that came in, I guess, what is it? He's the first person to pick Francis or Francisco, which is Latin, right, and Francis, which is in English. I guess he supposedly did a lot for the poor when he was back in Argentina. He helped out with a lot of needs when they had that little war that I guess when they had a bunch of mass killings going down there. He did not give a lot of support and help, because I think like in the early 90s or the 80s they killed like 30,000 people doing this mass killings. They had some kind of war going on down there. But other than that, the Pope in general, hey, I guess it's a new Pope. I guess they lead him into a new era in the sense of no more molestations and
right.
Homosexuality that's going on inside of the Catholic religion. I guess bring it into a new light.
So let me ask any of you ladies, are any of you religious, or does the new Pope have any effect on you guys at all?
He doesn't have an effect on me. I can't necessarily say I don't care, because whatever's going on in the world, of course I care because I live here.
Right.
But I'm not really that into it, but I'm religious to an extent. I don't go to church all the time. I don't feel the need to. I don't need anybody to tell me how to praise my God, So right. I don't need to go to church all the time. I can repent and do all that good stuff by myself. So I'm religious to an extent. I pray.
I would say I'm more spiritual than religious.
Right.
I believe in Jesus, died on the cross for our sins and all of that.
Uh-huh.
As far as the Catholic Church and all that other stuff, I'm just not really into it. I'm not in. So, congratulations to him, and I wish him the best, and I hope he does a good job.
Well, let's hope so. What about you then, Maria? You have any insight on that?
I'm Catholic. I go to church every Sunday.
Get out of here. You're Catholic?
Good. Yep.
Catholic church is the most boringest church in the world.
Wow.
Hey,
it is.
Strong words.
I'm sorry, but
I've been going there for 22 years. I know.
Yeah.
But I go every Sunday with my family and stuff. And I don't know much about the new Pope.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not very into all the politics. I feel like the Pope's kind of politic for,
right.
The Catholic religion. But, congratulations to him. Like Coco said.
So I was doing a little research, because of the whole Pope situation, and it turns out that back in 1930, there were 5% of people who had no religious affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
Then back in 1990, there was 8% of people who had no religious affiliation. Now, when they did the test again, there are 20% of people that don't have any religious affiliation.
Yeah.
And they say the reason for that is because they feel that the church is all about money and all about unnecessary rules and too involved in politics. What do you think about that? And I think that goes especially with the Catholic Church.
Well, yeah, because you know they have a different kind of hierarchy. You know, it's like the Pope is the president, or you know, the right hand man of God. Then you got the cardinals under him, and then you got bishops, and then I'm not sure how the whole thing plays out, but it seems that in religion, you deal with, you know, people's own values, man. You know, they say that, you know, you're a pope, or not a pope, just being a Christian, a bishop, or a pastor, you know, they're not perfect. So they make mistakes, you know, like.
But you're supposed to think that the Pope is infallible. Isn't that what they say? But that's just not a realistic thing. You know what I mean?
You can't ask that of anybody. Can you say to yourself, "Hey, I'm going to always be perfect. I'm never going to make a mistake"? You can't be, man. But people put the Pope on such a high pedestal that you know, he can't mess up, and you know, especially when he wearing those Prada red shoes.
Right. You know that's my main complaint is the capes and the red Prada shoes. But you know,
Right?
Yeah. I can't believe that. You know, so it's different. And not to knock on your religion.
Where does he get the money for all that? Probably from the church.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah.
Everybody's tithes and offerings.
And you know, the main thing, you know, we talked about this on another episode we had, is that, you know, I thought the main purpose of religion was, you know, to be humble and give to other people more than yourself.
Right.
So, like I said, there shouldn't ever be $1 million preacher.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, the Pope shouldn't be living in a castle when there's homeless people, you know, all around the Vatican, you know, all around the world, and you're stepping out with some red Prada shoes with a cape and a gold throne. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So you know.
Well, I mean, if they do for the church, well, isn't God blessing them with that?
Well, you know what?
Word,
in a sense, it is,
they should
but
reap the benefit.
But what is too much? You know, what is too much?
I mean, Mother Teresa did a lot for people, and she lived like humbly than I'm living.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
What was you about to tell?
I mean, maybe he just, you know, he's the public eye. You know, you see, I bet you the president comes out in nothing but the finest, you know, or you see all these public figures, bet you they're wearing the best. I mean, I understand the whole religion thing, but he's the public figure for the religion.
If I'm spreading the word and I'm changing people's lives, I expect God to bless me, and I expect to look like $1 million when I walk outside.
Is that so? So you're saying if I was a pastor right now, I should be in a brand new Mercedes Benz S500?
If you're not, then your church must not be doing.
No, I'm just saying, you know, with diamond rings and stuff, you know, stepping out
you
that.
You don't have to.
But this is the problem with that is that you're taking, you know, you're supposed to be giving, right? You're supposed to be teaching, and then, but you ask,
especially supposed to be like the highest form of that.
It's a difference. I mean? If your church needs $1 million to build an extra daycare center, and you're walking around looking like $1 million, then there's a problem. But if you got that daycare center and you're able to still, then that's good.
But do you need a 500 SL Mercedes Benz?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
you don't need it,
that's what I'm saying. Because
you can get just as far in a Corolla.
Exactly.
I don't want my pastor
or a Lincoln Town car. I'm just saying, but that's what I'm trying to get at, because you find a lot of that. We talked about this.
He's human like everybody else. He wants to ride around nicely.
Exactly.
But I personally seen a pastor. And it was okay for me, but it wasn't okay for how he was spending his money. I felt like that was kind of maybe against some type of rules or something, against the religion, against the Bible or something like that. So I don't know. I sit differently on it because I don't know how to feel when I see that. Like, I know for a fact that I seen this, and then you have pastors that ride around with
I feel like
nice things,
job,
living on the water.
Aren't they supposed? That's how they make.
That's how they make money. I get that.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They preach the word. That's how they get their money. So you can't say, "Oh, you're spending the church's tithe and offering." No,
that's
this is my job.
I mean, but it's the difference. Like, if 80% is going in your pocket, and then 20% is going to the church.
Yeah, and you got gold chains.
Then there's a problem.
This is literally, I've seen it. Gold chains, rings on every finger,
they be
buying a brand new Cadillac. I've seen
it.
it. Hair got some whip in it, got the finger waves, you know, with the Armani frames, gold, you know, that I've seen that, and he's like, okay, now honestly, your frames cost $400, all right?
Why don't you put that in the collection plate?
Exactly.
You know, you could have got some
and then get on you. Hey,
that is my question. How much do they put in tithes and offering? at church.
They put their
How much
life
do they
into it.
contribute to?
Well, they contribute their
Probably
time and
don't.
all that. They
Question.
contribute their time.
That's a good question, though.
But like
Yeah.
if you look at priests,
Yeah.
they put their whole life into it. You don't
Right.
stop. You
Good.
serve your whole life. There's a lot of things you don't get to do as a priest.
Right.
You're not
know,
supposed to do.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, not supposed to do,
Right.
but you know what I'm saying? Like they put their whole life into it. So I can understand you get it's your job.
But
You're
this,
giving
but with,
yourself.
especially with Catholic religion, you find a lot of things where they're having pedophiles and they're having a lot of homosexual activities with each other, and that's so how do you address that? Would you say what, we need to break the code of what Catholicism is and say, hey, look, if you're going to be a priest, maybe you can get married, maybe you can have a normal life, you know what I mean, in the sense of you can have a family and also teach the word of God.
I always looked at priests funny because, like, you see them in the movies, they're smoking cigarettes. A lot of them are gay. They mess with little boys.
Yeah.
It's just like I always looked at them a little bit differently. Like,
It's the
why
way the
is it
media
always
portrays them.
priests that do that?
Right.
There's
You know
bad
what I mean?
there's bad seeds and everything. Just like
Yeah.
on any topic, there's going to be the positive and the negatives,
Everybody's
the upsides
negative.
and the negatives. But the ones that are going to be highlighted are only going to be
Mostly
the negatives.
negative.
The
Right. But you have
downside.
to set an example. If you're a
Oh, yeah.
priest or you're going around here smoking cigarettes, I always like, why are they smoking cigarettes? Like, even the Exorcist, remember that movie?
Yeah,
Exorcist.
yeah.
They're smoking. Every time you see a priest, they're just smoking a cigarette. Are they able to do that? I'm not saying cigarettes are bad. I don't say weed is bad. Nobody knows. I mean, only God can judge. You know what I'm
that's true.
saying? But it's just the simple fact that they go around doing that, and other churches think that it's.
All right, we're gonna have to cut it off there. Obviously, we need to have another religion episode.
Yeah,
but-
y'all
Right,
we
we'll
gotta
come
keep
back.
it moving. We got to keep it moving until our other news topic: the shooting of a 16-year-old Brooklyn kid named Kamani Gray. If you guys don't know, he was a 16-year-old kid in Brooklyn that was shot 11 times by undercover police officers.
What, that security guard?
No, he's not a security guard. He's just a young
were-
kid out in
I'm
Brooklyn.
thinking about the wrong
Yeah.
one.
And he was shot by some plainclothes police officers. Like, you looked up a little bit about the story, Shantae. What do you think about that?
Man, it's hard, man. But I see in an environment where it's a lot of impoverishment, and the police, they have a really bad view of police officers in general. And then you were talking about that earlier, when you're in an environment that's really negative and everybody's toting around guns, and then you have these police officers that were undercover pull out a gun on a child. They say that the boy Kumani pulled out the gun first. So
The police are the only ones that are saying
exactly. But they say witnesses said that he didn't. So in both scenarios, let's say if he did see the cops pull the gun out on him, he doesn't know them from Adam. He doesn't know if they're real cops or not. Because I think when you're undercover, you're supposed to show a badge. Maybe they didn't. We don't know the specifics.
From
of
the
it.
reports, what they said that no badge was ever shown.
See?
Witnesses say, first of all, that Kamani, Gray never had a gun, and that he was running away from the police officers when they shot him. The ballistics showed that there were 2 shots in his back,
yeah.
along with the other 6 shots that they found in his body.
Yes.
So they wanted to lay him down.
They could
yeah.
have shot.
He probably
one
fell. He
time,
probably
and
turned around like, "Oh, don't kill me!"
Yeah,
And they're probably
exactly.
like, "Bang, bang, bang."
To shoot
It's-
11 times, they were like
A 16-year-old.
literally
Right.
aiming at him.
Yeah, okay. Either was running or he was already down and they shot him again in the back.
That's
So
even worse.
I feel
And
like
I mean,
there's-
they say that you're shooting to protect your life, but
Yeah.
you don't need to shoot anybody more than 2-3 times.
Yeah.
to
He's
know
not
that your life is no
Incredible Hulk.
longer
How
in
many
danger.
He's not
police
gonna do it.
officers were there?
2.
two.
They
Yeah,
shot him
right.
in the leg and just held him down. And
Well, but
You know
that's
what I'm
what you
saying? There should be
think.
proper
But they're
precautions
I
where
think
they shoot.
in
They're
that
trained
moment-
to shoot for the
You don't
torso.
have. You don't need
kill.
to shoot to kill though. Like
That's
you
what
don't.
they train for.
I mean,
a
and that's a
shoulder.
problem
Yeah.
right there. You
It's
know what
supposed
I
to
mean?
be
That is a
something that's
problem.
gonna stun you and let you know, like, stop or I will kill you. Like a shoulder shot, a leg shot, a thigh shot.
But you know what?
Right.
I'm gonna
You
play.
don't necessarily have to
I'm
shoot
gonna play
to
the
kill.
other side of. I'm gonna play like
That boy didn't
if-
want to die.
Well, I'm pretty sure he did.
Well,
Nobody wants to die on that.
supposedly they said that he said to please please don't let me die. But the police officer said to stay down or they'll shoot him again.
Oh, wow.
That's what supposedly, like, an eyewitness, I guess, said.
Right.
So they didn't shoot him when he was down?
Well, no.
I mean, there's
we don't know. It's a question.
Yeah.
That's why they're having an uproar. They're over there looting stores because of this.
They should be
in
able to
Brooklyn.
tell that.
Well,
At the end of the day, it's
Aren't
going to
there
be the
security cameras
police's.
everywhere?
It's going to be
well,
the
not in the
police's
hood
story
as
against
much.
his.
You know, when you're in impoverished
And
neighborhoods,
everybody
not as
else's.
much.
At the end of the day, they feel like police officers, they serve our country, so they're going to go with what they say over what the public say any day. We learned that with Trayvon Martin.
That's what I was
Right,
thinking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah,
has
that's
been
true.
going on for years, though.
Well, yeah, you
That's their
definitely.
favorite thing to
They
do
don't
is
fix
to
it.
kill little kids now.
Yeah.
I witnessed
it.
exactly. I witnessed a video. I seen it maybe on World Star Hip Hop or something like that, and there was like 8 police officers and kicking his behind.
Right.
Yeah, they were like
They're actually
they were
like their
messing him up
police
pretty
brutality
bad.
videos like every month now. It's so
Yeah.
common that people aren't even in an uproar about it anymore. You know what I mean?
Here,
It
even
was
in
just like,
Seattle.
oh, they're at it again.
But if they shoot someone and they see that this person might die or is dying, and they might thought they're in the wrong, they might just shoot him one more time just to say, okay, let me kill him. So you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well,
It can
any
be
you know,
upward.
Then he can't say anything.
any
Yeah.
perspective like that. You
They
can-
probably
Exactly.
didn't have proper protocol to
They did something
shoot him
wrong.
in the first place, whether he was running or not. They're like, well, it's going to be my story against his, so let's
So let
just
me-
off
Yeah.
him now.
So he doesn't
So
have
that-
a story.
So you don't have
Person
a,
can't
exactly.
talk. Yeah.
That's true. That's
You're
true.
gonna get. I heard that you can get more time for attempted murder than murder because that witness cannot testify against you if they're dead.
That's
so
true.
If you're trying to kill somebody, you might as well go ahead and kill them because if they're still alive, you might be in there for.
Well,
a
I don't
while.
know about killing nobody, but
I'm just-
still.
Hey, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get into today's main topic. Today's topic is going to be about the sex industry. And we have a couple of guests here we introduced you to earlier. We have, once again, Coco,
Hello.
Maria,
Yeah.
and Christina. And basically, we're going to get into talking about how this industry is, the ins and outs, talk about maybe some emotions. We just want to get into it, so let the people know, how this works. So, ladies, I'll start off with this question: how do you like doing this?
Money's when the money's good.
It's great.
Of course, I mean that's anybody. If
Yeah.
you're making money, good money, then you're gonna continue to do it. So that's mostly what it's about is money.
So money,
in
huh?
my case.
I agree. I mean, and it puts you at a better advantage to further into a better lifestyle later on once you.
If you're able to save.
Yes.
If you're able to save.
Most can't.
Because they got a
Right.
pimp.
Yeah. So, okay.
Mostly.
Is that right?
90%.
Is that so? 90% of women that's in the industry, this this escorting game. Like, what do you call it? Do you call it sex game, pimping, prostitute? What do you call this? What do you call
I mean,
just
you can
the
call it
game.
all kinds of things. You can call it pimping and hoeing. You can call it the game. You can lower it down. I mean, there's tons
money.
of different terms that you can use for it. So, perspective,
What do you call it then?
the game.
What do you call it?
The game.
Hustling.
Hustling.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask all of you, how did you first get into it?
I first got into it. When I first got into it, I was going to school and working at a regular job at Denny's. Needed some extra money. I was starting to get tips at Denny's, so I'm like, dang, I can get more money. It just happened that guys were coming in and pimps.
Like
and trying to
networks?
talk to me
Pimp
like
networks?
everywhere I went. Dang, it's just at that time, I think the game is getting bigger. So everywhere I went, and maybe they could just see it in me that I could be a hoe or something. So I was getting attention from a lot of men, pimps. They call it choosing season, maybe. Somebody wanted me to choose.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted me to choose them. Somebody wanted me to choose up. So I did meet a guy. The first guy I met, he had a spa. He owned a spa, and he had a couple of girls, and I was so afraid to really get down and do something. So he just let me massage and do some massages for guys, and I did that for a little bit, and then talked to him. But he had a white girl that he used to beat on a lot. So it kind of scared me. It showed me a different side of him. So I ended up stopped talking to him, and immediately after I met, I say that was my pimp, my folks. I met him, and that's the one I started it out with. And I mean, it took a little bit of a while for me to get comfortable, but we started getting some money. Basically, he didn't have no girl. It was just me and him. He was selling dope at the time, and he had a little bit experience, but not that much. So we both just decided that we were going to get some money together.
Okay.
And that's how it started.
What about you?
Well, when I first started, I was kind of more like, it was through a friend, somebody I talked to through high school. It was a guy, and another friend of mine, he had her go out, and it was basically my job to like go behind her and get the money and bring it back to him while she continued to work. And then one day I kind of just like hopped in a car, and the offer was sounding real good, and I was like, oh, that's it? That's all? Oh, yep. Come on. And I mean, once you get that first bit of change, and you like, that was extremely, 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, that's easy. That's easy money. Couple hundred easy money, that's what's up. Then I was doing that for a while, and then I chose up with Guy. But that's over now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And what about you, Maria?
I got into it on accident.
How's that?
I was in an area, and I met a guy. I was very flirty, very outgoing. Like to meet new people, very social, love to hold a conversation. And met him, and I had a normal job at the time, and I was going to work one day, and he told me to come hang out with him instead. Went and hung out, and we just hung out.
Every day, every since.
Yeah, and well, he ended up, anytime I needed money, he was giving it to me, just hanging out. Never knew you could just hang out with someone and support yourself. And so I told somebody about this, and they told me there was another way to make even more money. And so instead of making a couple grand a week from one person, I decided to open up my thoughts to exploring a different kind of world. And been stuck on it ever since.
Wow.
It's addicting.
It is. The money is good.
It's off and on for me.
Is that right?
Back when I first started, we would travel, so we'll be outside. Like I'm 31 years old. My birthday just passed a couple days ago.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday.
But I've been doing this since I was 17. So when I first started, it was on the track, totally on the track, highway. Aurora, South Tacoma Way, all out here. Yeah, it's different now. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's totally different.
The track is not what it used to be. Because I remember when I first started, I was walking the track too. Maybe it's probably a black girl thing. So
I get $1,000. They try to make us work
you
harder.
You can move. Like you move.
Is that right?
No offense, you guys got it easier.
Because they're in higher demand.
I can't lie.
When I first started walking, I would never be down for that long. I'm in and out of cars.
Okay.
I'm in and out. And it's like, it's an adrenaline rush. Kind of happy. You like, hey, you're in and out.
I remember.
And then now it's like,
All net.
it's all $40 and it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth your time of actually walking for people to pull you. And it's insulting too for somebody to offer you $40. And then on top of that, want you to do the most.
I'll end up punching them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking a chance going out. You could go to jail. I done been to jail about 10 times. You feel what I'm saying? As far as being on the track.
So you're saying you're really experienced in, like, it seems to me it's like a different side of the hustle that you two have to deal with, and then what you're dealing with.
Things have changed so dramatically because the net was, I don't know.
Back when I first started,
there was no net.
There was a Craigslist was coming out. And the Eros.com was just now coming out. So when we would go to San Francisco and work out there, I'll be on the track and I'll still be posting at the Eros. And this is 10 plus years ago. Yeah, so but we used to travel and go on the track was popping. Sunset, oh my gosh.
Sunset Boulevard, yeah.
Oh, that was the first time I ever really seen how it was supposed to be.
Now, Sunset over here?
No. Sunset
in California.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry.
Actually,
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
there's been said that some
You can get
pimps have sat their females down over in Renton, but I don't know. I'm not.
But see, wherever there's a hole, there's a trick. I can go out here to this library right now and give me some money. You feel what I'm saying?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Grocery store. You should be able to walk into
right now and give me some money. You feel what I'm saying?
You should be able to walk into a grocery store.
Exchange my number. Here you go. Call me later, and we'll work that out.
So let me ask about that. What are like the clients like? Talk about the different clients that you guys have, like their mental state, like their.
I have clients that I've had since before I had my daughter. Like I have about 3 that I call my regulars, and I've been seeing them for a long time. They're more like sugar daddies. You know what I mean? If I need something, they'll call me and
they handle it.
or I'll call them and let them know, hey, I'm a little behind, or if they need something, they'll call me. I have one right now is out of town, and he still sends me every month. He'll send me some money, cartons of cigarettes and stuff like that, because he can't be here. And we'll call. I'll send him some pictures. You know what I'm saying? It's just we have they're not like your boyfriend, but they kind of are.
You play the role of that to satisfy them. Because that's ultimately what they're looking for is companionship or somebody that cares. And that's our job is to care.
Now we're doing this.
We're caring people. Women are caring.
Now we're doing this. Now what about the attractiveness of it? Now I know you get some dogs in there, not taking care of their genitalia areas. You know what I mean?
I'll tell them to go watch it. But, I mean, if it's going to become my regular, if that's your regular, you're going to see him on a regular basis, then you're going to choose him too, just as well as him choosing you. So you're going to choose somebody that smells good to you and, something like that. If it's somebody you just met, you feel what I'm saying, you do it real quick, he might be a little funky, like, I'll never want to see him again. I'm straight. It ain't enough money in the world. You feel what I'm saying? All money's not good money. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. So,
it's our choice if we want to see them just as much. We don't always take money. I'm pretty sure.
It's kind of like when you go in the store
turn down money before.
And they have we have the right to refuse service. That's kind of how we have the right to refuse service.
I pick and choose. Mm-hmm. You have to match what I want to see as well.
Mm-hmm. You have to have rules. You have to
they
have
want
standards.
you clean. They should be clean too.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Mutual.
Yes.
You want me to be discreet. You should be discreet too.
Exactly.
Right. Mm-hmm. Wow. So there's a lot of rules to this. Now, what about the safety issue of it? Because do you get like you said, we were talking earlier, y'all saying y'all been robbed, and how do you try to weed out? Can you look at somebody and be like, this the guy's gonna rob me?
Well, it was the one major unforgettable time that I got robbed. Was a guy that I'd seen twice before. For some reason, I had this weird feeling, horrible gut feeling, and I was like, nah. I was like, I've seen him. This will be cool, no biggie. Maybe I'm just nervous. He actually was a decent-looking, black guy, and it was,
He was black?
Yes.
Mostly all the ones that rob you are black.
They are.
One of the
That's
rules.
crazy.
Pimps
That's
say,
so
don't mess with black people. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Don't mess with black men.
People. Yes.
And he came.
As far as spending money.
He came in. Everything seemed normal. Everything went smoothly, and then all of a sudden, bam! He had a gun. He told me to give him all my money. Which, think about it. Any intelligent girl in the business isn't gonna have a significant amount of money on her. Exactly. And I told him I didn't have anything. And I said, finally, I went to the door. Finally got over to the door after I had made a phone call and wasn't talking, but just had the phone calling. Opened that door and I said, you need to leave. He was getting ready to leave, and then all of a sudden he changed his mind, and I stepped outside. There was no way I was going back in that room.
He didn't try to rape you or nothing?
Oh, the deed was already done.
Right.
He wanted the money.
He just, nope, I didn't, because all the money I had was his money. And so he got me.
Gave her all my money. You must give my money.
Hey, at least the other 2 times were made up for that one time.
Right.
So now, with that, do you have, like you were just talking about raping? Now, has men tried to just I'm gonna take this from you. You're gonna be on here.
I had a police officer in California.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what city. I think it was Pomona or something. But I get in the car, and he's a regular, looks regular and everything. And when I got in there, he showed me his badge. He said he's a police officer. he wants some sex, basically. And I believe I did. This is so long ago, but I think I ended up just doing the blow thing and got out the car. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't want to go to jail.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So
But I told my folks, you know, and we looked for the dude, but that was it. But my folks told me afterwards, I remember he was like, you shouldn't have did that. You should have just got out the car. I was like, well, I don't want to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But it could happen, you know?
Yeah, it can. So what about you? Any of y'all got any?
I've been raped before. I've been robbed for a blowjob, if you want to say it like that. Like, like a guy was just like, it was like the weirdest thing to me. Like, it freaked me out. It was my first time going out of town, and I'm with this new guy that I've only been with for 2 months, and I'm going out of town, and I'm somewhere off in Arizona somewhere, in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I'm at. He takes me to, like, where these factories are, and he's like, okay. He's like, yeah, we're going to do this, whatever. We're discussing money, and he's like, no, I'm going to give you this. And I was like, no, I'm good. Just take me back. Right. And so he, like, grabbed me by the back of my neck and put a knife to me. He's like, do it now, do it. And then, no, he was a Mexican. And then after that, he was just like, he's like, okay. After I was done, he's like, okay, you can go. And then gives me $20.
Oh.
And I was like,
she got something.
And then I had another time where I've had a gun put to my head. And he's like just totally taking advantage of me. But I feel like being in the game, in the industry, whatever you want to call it, like, sex isn't really nothing to me. Like, just don't kill me. That's what I be thinking. You can have it. What you want to do?
And
like,
be
just
safe.
Don't kill me.
And please be safe.
Yeah, be safe
Please.
about it. Like, just don't
no,
kill
but
me.
when
But
you're
some
in a
people
predicament
won't.
like that, just don't kill me. Please be safe. Just don't, because man, I know the first time, which is crazy, I'm still in it, just for this, but the first time I ever, like, officially got down, just, like, officially was walking, I remember the first car I hopped in, I got robbed. First one ever.
That would make you quit.
Well, I didn't.
If it was the first time I ever stepped foot outside on the highway, I went to jail.
Mine was on the highway too,
and see, it made me and my folks get closer because he did all that and got me out.
He took care of you.
Like, oh yay, he got me out.
At least you knew he had his.
He was doing his job.
He had your back.
But it made me like him even more. You know what I mean? So it was supposed to.
How long did you get off? How long after?
Until I get back on the track.
How long was it?
It was about a week.
Because he would have been like,
he would have got another girl.
He'd be like, oh, you're good? Get dressed. Yeah, we just gonna go over to here this time.
We can go over in a different city.
Yeah, it's about a week. And he had another girl. He had a white girl, so she held it down a little bit. She ended up being on drugs, doing drugs. And
me personally, I never realized. I mean, I knew, and there's always a stereotype of the industry that all of them, do drugs and this and that. But, I'd heard it, but I thought it was simply like a stereotype. But, because I personally never had an issue with any kind of, never. And when I started realizing how many girls really do that, I was amazed. I was like, how can you... I mean, it's to feed their habit. I get it. But you gotta take care of yourself.
There's a lot of girls that are, like, fiends for it. It's different from being somebody who just does drugs recreationally.
Right.
I mean, I do drugs recreationally. I don't crave or fiend for anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there's some girls that, like, need that. I won't work until I get that. I'm only doing these $40, $60 days.
And that makes it bad for us that's trying to get some real money because they can go around
they just
here and
feed
get this crackhead for $40 and get.
I mean, but she looks like a crackhead though, right?
Some do, some don't. I know a girl smoked oxys day in and day out. No, and I mean like $600 a day habit type oxys. Like, I mean, expensive and cutest girl ever. Everyone loved her. Just cute, blonde, just gorgeous, banging body. Never would have known, but she needed it because she said her skin crawled if she didn't have it. Oh man, fiend. Like, but I mean, she was cute though, cute as can be. Curious little
You
girl.
got that.
You can't tell. I mean, there's some that you can tell, but there's, to an extent, there's a lot of girls that you can look at and you would never understand, like, the severity of the things that they do and the drugs that they do and stuff. You would never know.
The worst drug would be the meth. When
You can tell. You can't hide
I
it.
can tell.
You can't hide that.
Holes and all that. And
You can't hide that.
that's about the worst one. Even smokers, though, crackheads, they be looking good. They get their little hair.
They take care of themselves.
Real.
You know, they know. Or
Get
they
their
usually
money.
have, maybe they might have folks who make sure they maintain
I had my
themselves.
folks when I remember he was selling dope when I first met him. So he had got a crackhead for a minute. She came home with us a little bit, but it was easy for him because he just give her a little,
Give her a little bit.
And she was happy.
when he's
she was happy.
whipping it up and stuff. You give her the little crumbs.
She's good.
That hoe be out. She be out there all night getting her money though. All night. I loved her because I could just sit down and relax.
Yeah, because she's going to
I
go
got
for
to kick
you.
my feet up a little
Yeah.
bit. Yes, so.
Wow. So, okay. Now, what's the most weirdest, request? Like, is there some stuff do y'all not, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
for
they
real,
call it the golden shower. So
That is not even weird anymore. That's average.
are you
You
serious?
said that's average?
That's normal now.
I'm
Golden
31.
shower
I've never
is-
done it. I've peed
Never?
on people. I've never done a golden shower. I came close.
Y'all ladies have done though. We're talking
I
about.
came close, but I just never
I've done multiples. The only one I can't understand personally
It tastes good.
is the brown showers.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, the golden one's
Golden
the
one's
pee.
the peeing.
Oh, I peed
Yeah,
on
that's nothing.
it.
That's the one I can't understand.
Okay,
I
so
peed on
time
it.
out.
And they paying money?
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
the best money when they want
They
that.
pay extra.
People
Yes.
are paying
They
you
love
money
that.
to pee and poop on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
In their mouth, on their head.
Are they
all over
just
their body.
like white
Not that
dudes
bad.
or?
No,
Mostly white.
mainly.
Oh, okay.
But there's a variety. My favorites are always the domination.
That's what I've always
There.
wanted to.
I mean, there's one, like, people are asking to get
have a
slapped.
Oh yeah, I love
They want to
it.
get slapped. They
I
want
love
you
it
to
when somebody
stump on
wants
their
that.
balls with your heel.
There's
I've heard that multiple times.
Yeah.
I made a man. I took one of his stuffed animals. It might have actually even been, I hate to say this, his kid's stuffed animal. I don't know. But I threw it. And I told him, I said, you fetch, bitch. Sorry.
cool.
And
cool.
I told him to fetch. And he came back with it in his hand and not his mouth. And you didn't fetch like you were supposed
Right.
to. You picked it up with your hand and crawled back.
Right.
So punishment was given, which is just a matter of slapping. Or if he didn't kiss my shoes the right amount of times every time he took them off or put them on. If he didn't kiss them 4 times, he got smacked for that. Just little
love
stuff.
that.
Do you get entertained by that? You was like, I get to slap
and
that
I was-
taste out his
I
mouth.
love
I think
that.
some of it is
love
weird.
domination.
It's a little weird, but it's fun. It's nice
It's
for
better
them.
you being in
Oh,
control.
you have no
I'm
idea.
always
That's
in
weird
control.
for me. The
But
weirdest
you feel
one.
more in control.
Empowered.
It's like, yeah, and you done got 300, 400 hours from him, and you just
So-
telling him to
so-
do this.
I think the weirdest one for me would be a guy asking for strap-on play or just wanting me to like do
get it in
a
the
prostate
You ever
massage
done
or
that
something
to
like that.
Okay, now when you doing a prostate massage, are you being safe?
I put it.
Yeah.
You said, what are you using for
Yeah.
that?
Gloves.
Yeah.
You put
Condom?
You put a condom on your finger.
And people actually want you to just.
Oh yeah, and
But
then
it's not. It's
harder.
it's
and-
considered.
yeah.
It's considered the man's G spot.
Yeah.
It
It's up
feels
there.
good to them.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys know
I've
how to
had-
get
You just
there.
rub it.
I
don't
speak
I've
for
never
a
done
man.
it.
You
You
probably-
cannot put your finger anywhere near anywhere
you
near
never-
a
I've done
crack
it
and nothing.
once.
I'm off that.
I don't. There's things that I just don't. I'm not into, so I can't make myself get into it. Or if it's a good amount of money, I'll just be like, you know what I mean? But go ahead and do it. But like, I've been doing this for a long time, and there's certain things that I really haven't done like that. I've never really stuck my hand in the way.
I've done strap-on play with a man,
I want
and
to do
he
that.
sat. It was actually embarrassing because he sat there screaming my name at a hotel, and that was like, I was like, oh my god, I was sitting there, but smiling the whole time, trying so hard not to laugh because I don't know. I mean, you guys are guys. You've had women scream your name, right? I hope.
Right.
You know. But imagine, okay, you guys don't scream girls' names.
Right.
Like, it was just.
If it's good enough, that will.
Yeah, imagine being behind a man and them screaming your name. It's a little different.
That's not all right.
No, it's not.
Like,
I never actually put on a strap on and did it with the guy.
I did it. And
No
I
one's
have
ever asked me to do that.
I have a
No,
friend
actually,
who does it on a
some
regular
people have.
basis. She has
People
regulars.
pay
here.
good money for this.
Oh, they pay more.
They love it.
Wow, that's crazy finishes. So, there was a couple of stuff I was looking at. There's French. I don't know what that is.
French is a blowjob.
Oral.
Huh?
Oral.
That's oral.
Giving and receiving French is oral.
Okay, and what's DATY? What's that?
That's
Oral on a female.
oral on a female.
Okay, now do you stay protected for that?
Everything.
Should always be protected.
Yeah, you gotta be protected.
There's
Well, you
there's
can use
ways around
saran wrap.
everything.
You can use saran wrap.
They call it dinner.
That's
Yeah.
usually the best way to do
Yeah,
it.
that's the only way, really.
Like,
What's about-
otherwise you just don't do it.
Yeah.
What about this Greek stuff?
Anal.
Hey, that's in the butt.
Hey, that's in the butt.
Like
what?
things like that I don't normally do. Like it would have to be my regular. I've been saying
Because
for
you have
a
to,
long time.
you have to know their body and they have to know yours because that's not something you can just. Well, some girls, I guess,
Some girls do a
can.
lot.
They can do whatever, but I mean that's not something normally. It's just you just
And then-
jump into it.
Girlfriend experience?
Oh, that's just like when they come in. You
It's
give
just-
them a girlfriend experience. Like,
You
hi.
want them emotional,
like
not
your girlfriend.
emotional. Wrong word.
Because you could grow. Hoes
you
wanna,
could be
like-
real mean. Hoes could be
You
real
know,
mean.
girls-
Like wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Exactly.
They don't want that.
But
so
they want to cuddle with you afterwards. They want to have conversation. They want
They
to
wanna
be.
kiss.
They want it to be more intellectual than
So, but that's what
that too.
You say it?
Oh, I don't
That's
kiss.
it.
I'll give a peck here and there, but I do not kiss and tongue. No, we're not. You're not. I don't know where
Yeah,
your
no
tongue
one
has
does that.
been.
It's
So
probably
let's
been
talk
in
about the emotional aspect of the business. Now, are you ladies able to have a relationship with anybody else outside of the business? And like, how does it affect like how you feel, sexually? How you feel about sex in general?
It's separate. It's work.
Yeah.
It's
I
work.
forget, like work is like I forget. I kind of say like some personal. Some personal is something that's outside of work, something that I do for fun. I do recreation
That you-
because I actually want to do it.
And it's
Well,
with a
that's
certain.
what
It's with
come
a.
in too. Like
With a certain person,
When
you
I
know?
was with I'm not with him no more. But we still talk. But when I was with my folks, real heavy and tough, it was like that was my man. That was my boyfriend, and everything else was just like they said, work. You know what I mean?
all work.
Now I'm not with him, so I still be working. I play some ads here and there. But I have a boyfriend, and I didn't tell him. He doesn't know. So yeah,
He still doesn't know at this
That's.
point.
I've known him for years, but he doesn't know what I do because I have a daughter now. So it's not like I do it like I used to. I'm not on a track or nothing like that. I haven't been on a track in like hella, but like 7 years type stuff. So I'm just saying I go, I'll play some ads and stuff like that. So only do my phone ring. I have my regulars, and we'll get a room or I'll go to their house and leave it like that. My man, he don't know nothing about that.
So
Yes.
I know it's your
And
guys'
and I
job
don't
to
want
ask
him
the
to find
question.
out.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
But how do you think he would feel?
I don't know, and I've been talking to my
That's-
best friends about that.
that's
You're
'cause
gonna
that
I want him
you're
to
gonna
look
wanna
at
tell
me
him.
differently.
I have
That's what I'm scared
I have
of.
a friend.
But I talked to him a little bit. I told him like I've had sugar daddies. I just leave it like that. I've had a
Yeah,
couple-
just give
to
him
get
the-
it out
give him the
there.
least-
Give him a little
Get it
taste of
out
it, so
there.
it'll be like a total shock.
Yeah,
The
so
whole
he
night. He
does
said, "You
find
what?
out. What I'm scared is when with him and we see somebody that I know and
Well-
it's like, how you still get money?
You're like,
How
hey,
you
Coco,
doing?"
how you
know what I
doing?
mean?
Right.
He's like, Coco,
Yeah,
who's
that's what
Coco?
I'm saying. I don't want nobody that's
And
why I'm
you're like,
scared of. So I try to,
It's
he can take me to his little spots and, we're mostly in the house watching movies, chilling anyway. Somebody calls me, sometimes my phone
Yeah, how do you go
off
about
the
it? You just
hook,
like,
and he is just
I'm about to
like,
run to the store. I'll be
"Why is
back
her
in an
phone
hour.
ringing?" No, I just like I gotta go handle something. No, you see, he's not all in my business like that.
Okay.
He gets his money too.
you have your space.
He gets his money too. You feel what I'm
So you
saying?
guys do your thing.
Yeah, he does it. He don't know what I'm doing. So I don't want him to look at me for some money either. That's my thing.
That's what I find more
the
with
last
trying to-
dude I was with, right when I told him I'd be getting money, next thing you know, he's trying to get money.
Yeah.
Let's go do this.
That's definitely how
I want to come.
That's
I want to be a part of it.
I don't got a pimp.
I definitely feel like
17.
when I meet a guy, if I'm 100 with it, I'm honest and I'm upfront and I'm like, you know, because you know that's one of your first questions, like, do you have a job? Where do you work? What do you do?
Right.
And if I'm honest with them, then they're like, oh
It
yeah,
could backfire.
or there's some that'll just go about it like a whole other way, just be all lovey-dovey with
I
it,
don't
and
want
then
you to be
out of nowhere they'll try to like break on you.
I need
in
this.
different ways. Oh, I need this. I need this. Oh, can you give me this? Oh, can I borrow this? Oh, I
That's
need to
why I
re-up
wanna
on this. I
tell
need
you.
to do this type things, and they get to asking stuff.
Also, man, there's a lot of like new age, like everybody think they're a pimp now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody and their brother think they're a pimp now, and so you tell anyone that you are in the game, they're
And they
like,
think they got
oh, well,
skills
let
to be a
me.
pimp.
Oh, they're like, let me get up it. Let me get in the game. You might be my entry.
Okay.
Like, and then you're like, nah, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm not giving out
blue
no free
killer.
game.
It's a
You
wrap.
gotta
Right.
pay me for mine.
wow.
I got too much.
So now at this point in the game, where you ladies are, there's nobody else that can come in and touch your money now at all. That's what
Oh,
you're saying.
nah, not me. No, if I chose to, I mean, my folks, he has came in and out of my life. So if I was to say, okay, boom, I just want to get on some money, I would call him. He got his own little business in Portland. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing. So if I wanted some protection, somebody watching over me, I'll call my ex folks. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely.
That's what I would
So-
do.
I would say the same thing. Maybe if it was somebody that was in my past, then maybe. But right now, right here, nah.
Just go.
I mean, we can. I mean, it's always good to be, be a couple, and you bring it together, and I do for you, you do for me, and all that good stuff. But with a pimp and a hoe, there's just like everything, all of it. It's all yours. It's not mine no more. It's all yours. But if you breaking bread with somebody and you guys are working together,
It's
and
different.
you guys are building from it, it's different. It's like a partnership instead of just like
Business partners.
Yeah.
a pimp is more like
You give a pimp
a boss.
$1,000 and
A
you
pimp
might
is
just
like your
get
boss,
a
but
McDonald's
they don't
burger.
pay you. You
Right.
pay
Like,
them.
we got to do this and this and this
Yeah.
and that. He might got 5 kids he got to take care of. So it's I just
Interesting you
don't
say that.
encourage it. You feel? How old are you guys?
I'm 22.
22.
22.
Okay, see, they're still young.
Yeah, I still
How
got
long
a
you
lot
guys
to
been
go.
doing this?
5 years.
Really? So you was
I'm
a
going on
teenager.
6 this year. I'm
You
going
was
on
a
a 6.
teenager. And how
My
was
5
you?
years. I
Really?
started when I was 17.
So somebody put you guys out there?
No.
was
No,
gonna
you
raise your
guys
hand and ask
did
you
it yourself.
Well, I got into it on accident, and then I ended up meeting someone, and
Yeah,
then
you wind up meeting somebody.
I started doing it.
choosing up.
Yeah,
I was
it's just a question when they're young.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
You might
Yeah.
be 15, 16. Some are runaways.
I feel
Yeah,
like
definitely. Now-
with me and her, we're like way far advanced. Like we're way far advanced in our time.
You guys
We're not.
seem like it.
We're not 22.
Yeah.
We're 20. Like I'm 22.
I've got a
Yeah.
lot more than I know any 22-year-old in the business.
That's good.
In the business
You guys
already.
seem real ladies.
Yeah,
So let me talk about the family aspect. Like, does any of your family know about what you do? And if they did, how do you think that they would feel about it? I'm going to pose this to you guys first.
My family knows everything. Everything down to the end of everything. I have tracker on my phone that my mom can go and see. I tell her when I'm going out of town, I'm like, Mom, I'm going over here. She always keeps money like on my separate card, so in case emergencies or something like that. But she knows everything. They don't. My brothers know. I'm the youngest. I have 2 older brothers. I'm the baby and the only girl, so they're like, but they know and they realize like you can't stop me from doing it. So they know I'm not going to say that they're supportive of me because they don't support it, but they know what I do. And
They're
if
still
I,
down to protect you.
Yeah,
Like,
if
that's
I need
their
them,
main.
if I need them, without a doubt, I got them. They're gonna ride. So
Me, they didn't know at first. I got outed to my family, my parents, by a police officer who sent them an email because I got pulled over in a known pimp's car and blah blah blah, and I was underage and all this stuff, and I still lived.
And the whole
and I-
family found out.
Oh, no, I got lucky. They sent it to my mother, and I'd been gone for a week working. And I came back, my phone was dead. I went and put my phone up on the charger, went to look for my laptop. My laptop's gone. I was like, where the hell is my laptop? And go downstairs, and I have an email printed out, handed to me. And I was like, oh, man. Went running up to my phone's gone. They were like, you gotta move out. They freaked out. You gotta go. And so, well, they tripped, and But, and I was living in their house. I'm the baby of 5. I've got 3 brothers and a sister, which y'all don't know. After a while, once I moved out, I had my own place. I had my stuff together, my life together. My parents began to accept it. I don't know quite. My dad's he's like 73 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad's old, and I
still looked good. 20-something years ago.
And
having kids.
Well, they adopted me.
Oh, okay.
I'm adopted.
Oh, okay.
3 out of 5 of us are. And but so basically, my dad's from Queens, New York, and my mom's from Brooklyn. My dad's kind of cool. Like, my mom's a Catholic. She went to Catholic school. Everything. Super religious. So she wasn't quite open-minded. My dad doesn't, what daughter wants to hear about that, But, he supports me. I tell him, like she does, when I go out of town, where I'm going to be. It's instead of having management or folks, like, I have a different type of support system that, in my personal, they're not going to take from me. If anything, they're always going to look out for my best interest.
I feel like also, like, with my mom, she's always, ever since I was a kid, she's always said, never leave me blindsided. That's, like, something that's been instilled in my head, so I can never leave her blindsided. I never want anybody, I'm like that, period. I never want anybody else to tell somebody something that I need to tell them myself. It kind of did happen like that. They kind of, like, told my brothers, like, oh, I seen your sister out on the track. I think she was working, blah, blah, blah. And they told my mom, and my mom was like, are you doing this? And then at the time, I was, like, real rebellious. And I'm like, yeah, you ain't taking care of me, like, all that stuff.
Right.
And so I feel like I'm more open about everything now. It's a more comfortable feeling now than it was years ago.
I think it's also much more, like, to be honest, much more accepted than it used to be. Like, everybody is doing it.
Everybody wants to
everyone, man, I've met.
Everybody wants to be a pimp. And then, this is the tricky part. Everybody wants to be a hoe. Everybody wants to be a pimp. But all pimps don't want to just have hoes, and all hoes don't want to pay pimps. So it's like, everything is misconstrued. And
if you don't have a hoe, how are you pimping? That's the
exactly.
thing.
They'll find a reason to tell you that they are, or they'll just think because they have females and maybe their female gives them something, like, maybe they buy them something with their paycheck, or maybe give them a little bit.
So what about this, girls, ladies? So
I would consider those max.
That's more a player type deal thing.
Yeah.
So what is the end time for this? When is it the time where you say, I no longer want to play any games. I no longer want to play the head game with somebody. I want to be with somebody,
I'm at that stage as far as a relationship. Yeah, I don't, as far as having a pimp, like I said, me and him, we still cool. We actually after I had my daughter, we tried to put it back, like we were going to try to do it again, but it didn't work out. We know each other so
But
well.
how do you, because right now you have a boyfriend, right? You say you have a boyfriend and you're still in the game. How do you get out of that game? Like, do y'all each have an individual plan to get out?
I've worked and went to school throughout all these years, and it's just like, it's hard to get out. Once you got people calling you, it's you can't just get out like that. I mean, there's been times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna do this no more. I'm just gonna work. Just like that, 3 years ago, I had a job. I worked there for about 2 years, but
the money
right away, they'll keep calling. I've always still had at least a couple guys when I was working. I have a couple that might call me on the weekend, or at night or something like that. It's just
so. What you to me, it sounds like.
Maybe if I got married, it's just always in me. If I got married, maybe I would stop.
But how
I would have to get married.
It's hard now to change. You know what I mean? Like, if you have something that you've been doing for so amount of years, like if I was driving this bus for 20 years, it'd be hard for me to get away from something that's so accustomed to. I
would have to get married. If I got married, I wouldn't want to do that on my husband.
Now, let's say if you get married and then financially stuff ain't happening. Do you have to get out there and get that hustle on again?
My husband should be able. I would.
But he should be able to.
I know I could always go back.
You'd have to let him know, though. Like, in a marriage, like, you can't. It's like a whole nother level than, in my personal opinion, than a relationship. Once you're married to someone,
there shouldn't be no secret.
Never.
But if we're married, I wouldn't I shouldn't have to do this.
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't have to do this.
You should be set and ready to go for life when you get married, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
you might have struggles. It's love. You can't love.
But you
I
gotta
love
get
money, but I'm not
I
going to
have
marry
to
a
agree
trick.
to disagree.
Never.
Like, I
I
understand what
could
you're
have.
saying.
I've had
Like,
plenty of chances to
you
marry
you
a
get
trick.
married and then that's it. But I quite personally feel like, yeah, I might get married. I might square up, so to say. But I feel like at the end of the day, if somebody puts some money in front of me and asks me to do this job and asks me to do something, and I'm like, I'm gonna be sitting there
It's
like,
a hard one. A trick.
so I'd have to be
Just to
open-minded
actually,
with whoever my husband may be. Of course, I'm gonna tell him about my past and all that, but I'm gonna need him to know that if I decide that I want to do this, that I need you to be okay with that, and it just is what it is.
But it's always a difference, though. Listen, if I gotta, this is work. This is work. It's not like I'm loving this and this is my man and we're having some beautiful sex and it's just making love. If, my boyfriend, he should understand that if I go and mess with this guy, this is just about some money. This has nothing to do with, I love you. You see what I'm saying?
Some men can't handle
that's
that.
hard. Yeah,
they
you're right.
can't handle that emotional or mentality of
Knowing
what
that
man.
they
should be
somebody
able to.
else.
Right.
Most
I
men.
think that if, like you said before, it's got to be you can't meet a man and then not tell him straight up right off the bat, because then if somebody can come into a relationship with one of you women and know off the bat what you've already done, then they have to already accept that. It can't be down the road, because what happens is that
you can't tell him right away. Right away, like my dude, he doesn't need to know right now.
Because people judge you.
I don't know if this is gonna go. If we're gonna be together for another such and such. I don't know that. So he doesn't need to know. If I felt like I really want to be with him, I can see myself with him for the rest of my life, then I'll sit down and let him know. You feel what I'm saying?
But by that time, but some men tend to have a problem with a woman's, that's been with another.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, a lot of
another man. That's protected though.
Yeah,
so a hoe is the safest person. She gonna use a condom. You need to worry about these girls out here going to the club and going home and doing the most.
That's true.
That's
true
what you worry about.
But you know what? I hate to cut it short. Your ladies have been great. You know what I mean? I think we could have had a 2-hour show. Y'all ready? Y'all ready. Y'all like, we about to break down the game. And I wish I could, had some more time to go ahead. We ran over time.
I was too late.
I wish I could be in here and talk to you more. Maybe we'll down the line. I really want to stay in touch with you ladies. We have email. We have deprogrammingtalkradioshow.com. You can definitely reach us there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close the show out with last thoughts. Karsten, you want to start off?
Yeah, my last thought is, as a society, we need to stop stereotyping people. Like, the ladies here have brought, a different side to the game, the sex game or whatnot, and we need to just think about the whole of society, and stop trying to judge people without being in their shoes.
Definitely, definitely. Coco, go ahead. You got some last thoughts first?
Yeah, I just think exactly what he said. Don't nobody judge, you know what I mean? Keep it real, kind of, you know what I mean, to an extent. Keep it real if you feel like you need to keep it real. Otherwise, don't say nothing. I'm saying, don't lie about nothing. Just don't, they don't need to know.
Keep it real and keep it quiet.
Yeah,
keep it quiet and just, be yourself.
Definitely. Christina, what kind of last thoughts do you have?
I definitely feel like violence in the world needs to be stopped, and I feel like that's something that everybody needs to come together and do, and support each other, and as well as everybody else said, just don't judge each other. Keep an open mind. Don't judge a book by its cover. Read into it before you have an opinion.
Definitely. You, Miss Maria, what do you have there?
Man, I don't judge. I think though, like, everybody, even girls in the business, they're human, because just everybody should be treated equally and given the same opportunities.
And there's nothing wrong with getting money. There's nothing.
Definitely not.
Hey, and my last thought is that you gotta always using a forward progression, positive motion, and once for all, don't judge anyone until you walk in their shoes. Hey, this has been Deprogramming Talk Radio Show. I'm your host, Shante.
And this is Karsten.
And we're out.
I'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Leap tall hoes in a single bound. hoes in a single bound. Bleak tall 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 hoes in a single bound.